Hello all, Tony from Carton Cloud. I want to talk about EDI, or really what is it? What is an EDI? Now, if you ask a developer, they'll tell you something completely different to what I'm going to tell you. Now, I'm not a developer, I'm a transport guy. So I've been working with a software company who have shown me some really amazing ways of doing, what most people would call an EDI, which is an electronic data interchange. But if anything, that's just a means of an integration. So an integration of moving some data from one software to another software, or from one system to another system. It's just the specific way of moving is an EDI. We talk about integrations, and with Carton Cloud, what we actually do is we do a simplified version of what we call a parser, which is virtually, most people would have seen that you could be in MYOB or in Xero or in another piece of software where you can actually export a CSV file. And what actually happens is that CSV file could be what just looks like, a report for an accountant, or it could just be orders, or it could be the bones of a manifest to create consignment orders. So what I want to just sort of show you here is we have a few different types of files here. So here you can see this is just a straight CSV, and a CSV file just means that it's a flat Excel formatted file, which just means, it's just a flat CSV file, which means all the data is all in one line here. Now, what it actually does is we could get this file, and it will tell us who the pickup's from, where it's going to. A real simple version will just have the amount of cartons, the amount of pallets, and the amount of spaces, for instance. It will show us where it's going to, or any of the details. Well, we can actually get that file, map it inside Carton Cloud. Somebody could email it or FTP it, which is another fancy word which the developers have come up with, or an abbreviation, which just virtually means a file transfer protocol. So instead of doing an email, we put it into a folder and then we drag it out of the folder electronically, so nobody actually has to go into the email, save the file and hit send. It can happen automatically, and then we can go along and we can have a look at a more advanced sort of parser file. So this one here, for instance, has got all of the main details, where it's from, where it's to, but what you can see is here it's got delivery instructions, it's got items, standard service type or express service type, length, width and height, and all of that sort of thing. So they're just an easy means of getting an integration set up, and realistically for a few $100s and a couple of dollars a week, you can get these integrations up and running. Now, could you imagine if, back in the day, I couldn't imagine having like 30, 50, 100 consignment notes entered into a software system, or into a transport management system, or into a warehouse software system if it was orders. Imagine having 150 consignment notes entered in less than it takes you to click send on an email. And that's pretty impressive. You then can go to the next level, which is a sophisticated integration, which is an API, right? Which, if you have a company using a high-end software, if it's an SAP or a Manhattan or any of these sort of high-end softwares, they'll all have their own API integration. Now, if you know what an API is, then you've got the right people in the place. Just let your people know to get in contact with us here at Carton Cloud support, and we can help you go through with those integrations, and they're things which all happen in the back end, and it's just straight file to file, straight software to software transfers and bits and pieces like that. So it's just a different means of a more sophisticated file transfer. So anyway, so that's my version of an EDI from an operations logistics guy. Cheers.